How should edtech startups frame their value proposition to be appealing to universities?
Universities do things well, and they've been doing things well for, I don't know what, like 1,000 years. There are colleges and universities in the US, for example, and in the UK that have been around for longer than the US has been a country, right? So I'm thinking about like Harvard and Yale. So what do they do best? They do scholarship really well, research and so forth. They do teaching well. And I know a lot of edtech products are out there to enhance teaching, but they teach well. What might they not do as well? And that's where the value proposition is. Do they not recruit students as well as they can? Do they not have the ability, for example, to figure out how to adjust to classes that either may be oversold, right? And what do we do with the excess capacity we have in our student body? How do we bring them online effectively? Or the opposite problem? How do we fill seats where maybe there's some yield issues? They don't necessarily maybe do those things well. So how can you think in your mind, right? What does a university do well? And what do they not maybe do as well, right? In some cases, that's the education technology. Universities have gotten pretty savvy. I'm sure many of you have learned in your own research and development for university partners. The market research is probably telling you that there are centers of innovation. There are assistant provosts of innovation, and how can universities innovate, right? So certainly the universities are trying to catch up with the notion of innovation and how do we bring innovation in to what is a very established mechanism, right, in higher education. So what do they do well? What do you do well? And where do those things either overlap or don't? And maybe the better is that they don't, right? And you could bring something truly unique to the table where there's not a core competency on the university side, and your team and your product can bring that into the university setting. I think that is a really good way to think about universities.